type. Work for a fairly large corporation, $20,000 a year. Been in the business 9 years. Meet a lot of different people. Sometimes I feel a need of company, of a person. So I feel like maybe I can get into one of these people. I mean, you know, besides the service, them being a real person. So I just keep venturing out, looking for someone.
A lot of guys will say, well, what are you, a secretary? You know, where you work during the day and stuff. So they just act like it's normal, everyday thing. But like a lot of them, you know, they just say, wow, she's just like, you know, she's just like a secretary or something, and they'll sit there and talk to you for a while. Like even if, you know, even if there is sex involved, it's only, you know, not even 1/4 of the hour. And a lot of times they'll sit there and get to know you, and you sit there and talk like your friends or something, you know.
When you go out on a date with a girl that you meet, if you have a decent evening where you would go out and have your normal cocktails and dinner and a play or a show or a movie, you'd spend $50 to $75. And if you're not in the mood for that, you would call an out-call service. You'd get what you wanted. The final thing, if you're out with a girl, you'd want some sex. And if you date a girl, you're not guaranteed. The out-call service, you know what you're getting. And if you can, and I usually do carry on a bit of a conversation. I don't have a girl just come in, have sex, and send her out. And I don't know anyone else that does.
The night that Larry took me up there on Glebe Road, and I got that drunk lawyer, and he chased me around with a cigarette and stuff and didn't want to pay me, and, you know, acted like I was a piece of livestock or something. That was the worst call that I ever had, I think. It scared me the worst. I kept thinking that Larry's out there in the car asleep, and there's three locks on this door, and how am I going to get all these locks undone before this man comes after me? Am I going to have enough time to do it? Yeah, I thought I was going to get hurt that night. You don't have to call in because this guy's used the service before, so I guess everything's going to be all right, but I haven't been out here before.
I've heard recently and read in the paper that they're trying to outlaw these services because of their use of credit cards. It's easier to use a credit card. You usually don't have enough money with you, cash. And I don't believe that would be right, because if they're going to do it, people are going to do it anyway. If they find they need the cash, then they'll carry the cash.
The laws are really dumb, man. Because, I mean, we don't force our way into places. I mean, we don't stand out, you know, in front of the hotels and solicit people when they walk in, you know, hey, call me, you know. They call us because they have to go through the trouble of looking through the phone book and going through the trouble of dialing the phone and stuff and waiting, you know. If they didn't want a massage, they would just, you know, they wouldn't even do nothing.
Last year, the city council did try to promulgate some regulations in regard to the massage parlors. However, I understand the prime mover, the councilman, I think it was Reverend Coates, was defeated, and the proposed bill never got out of, I don't think ever got out of committee, and it just sort of died. I don't know whether they intend to have any regulation as regulating the massage parlor here in the district other than what we have.
Sometimes, like, if I have a good night or something and I've made a lot of money, you know, I feel good about it, but the majority of the times it really gets me down. I go through periods where I can just, you know, I go home and I think about it and I get really depressed and I start crying and stuff.
As a conscientious manager of this type of operation, you assume a maternal role with the girls. I personally encourage them to consider this type of work to be temporary. It is so emotionally taxing, I tell them to go to school or work a straight job, become self-sufficient and financially independent, and then leave this work. It's interesting and sad, however, because only once have I hired a girl who has never before worked in this business.
It's something that you want to do, and the customer wants it too, because if you didn't want it, he wouldn't be calling in the first place, so why should everybody hassle you about it? But that's the part that gets me down about it, is that everybody's always hassling you.